So Jim, you're talking about that some of your clients now, startups or smaller businesses, don't have the budget of a big company, and you try and work with them. Are there any other creative means you've come up with to provide the value of what your knowledge is to them in a way that's cost effective for them?
Yeah, over the years I've kind of developed a system. It's become much more formalized now, and I'll get into that later. But basically, over the years I found that since I like to write, which I mentioned before, and I've always done seminars, I've been a teacher and the like, I've kind of been writing for since I've been a lawyer, and so I started giving out my materials to clients and just say, hey, go study up on this so you don't have to pay me. Now initially, my partners thought that was kind of a crazy concept. But I think I've convinced, and this was back in probably the early 1990s, and way in the past century. But basically, I always felt that lawyers are not in the information business. It's not that we know the secret of what the law is, and then that's how the value we deliver. That may have been the case before the internet, but since the internet has been developed and everything, all people can find all kinds of knowledge without a professional. What people need is professionals to kind of help them sort through the garbage that's on the internet to find the things that are valuable and then how to use those tools. So I've always kind of given people to self-educate. I mentioned earlier, I work with some really brilliant people, so they're capable of self-education. And so with the internet coming along and the like, and my materials out there circulating here, there, and everywhere, at some point in time, I was working on a project. It was actually a project for TIE, which is the Indus Entrepreneurs. They're a worldwide network of South Asian entrepreneurs. It started in Silicon Valley. We're in 58 cities around the world. And I'm a charter member of the TIE's Carolinas charter, and I was working chapter, and I was working on a project, a business plan competition for high school students. So again, I'm back in the teaching mode there, and Harvey Singh got a hold of the materials I was giving out to these kids, and I knew Harvey from a prior life back in the 90s. He had a fairly successful e-learning company, which he sold and made a nice profit. And then he sat out his non-competition period after that, and he started a new e-learning company. And he said, Jim, I see these materials, so it's a book. I'll put it up on Amazon. It'll be an e-book. But what I said, well, thanks, Harvey.
That was easy.
I don't know how to do that. So he said, well, I do, and that's easy. But what I really want you to do is to organize your materials and create an e-learning course for entrepreneurs. And he said, I know you've been doing seminars, you got the book and everything, it should be easy. Well, as you know, Jeff, when somebody tells you got everything that should be easy,
run.
It ain't easy. But, it seemed like something that I'd be interested in doing. I had never done an e-learning course, and there was a chance to explore, and so I went to the managing partner of my law firm, Ward & Smith, and said, Ken, here's what these folks want me to do. And Ken said, basically, yeah, go for it. So 2 years later, we launched our e-learning course for entrepreneurs, and it's basically takes the principles that I've been working with my clients on a very informal basis and says, here's information. Go and learn it. It'll be structured so you'll make a sense of the world, and then come back, and then we can counsel together and problem solve. And so we launched that in April. That was version 1.0. We're currently updating it, adding videos and the like. But it's essentially a 30-hour course, which is available on the internet. There are 5 ebooks associated with it. I don't do anything running the business. I just, my partner Harvey, who has this software company that's partially in the United States, but mainly in India, and they do all the work, and I create the content. I'd like to say that they do all the work and I make all the money, but we ain't making any money yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And maybe we never will. But it's a fun project. I think it can help a lot of folks. And the thing that people take away from it is I decided we're going to do something a little bit different, and most people wouldn't be surprised by that, but we are selling education like iTunes, which I am actually more excited about the monetization structure for this than I am about the actual content. Because there is a lot of content available for entrepreneurs to go and find it. I think what I've done is kind of more organized, it's systematic and the like. But what's really unique is we've got 65 lessons which we sell for $1.99 a piece. So an entrepreneur can go in, look at the list, find out what he wants to learn, plop down the enormous sum of $1.99 and get a half hour of education. And I started out in the education world, and somehow I keep being drawn back into the education world as part of my practice. As part of my newspaper column is educates entrepreneurs. That's in 43 cities around the country through the American Business Journal's chain, and it's about advice to entrepreneurs. And I've always been frustrated because, publications are cheap. You get stuff online, and it costs either nothing or a small monthly subscription. You can buy music for cheap. You can buy movies for cheap. The only thing that's expensive is education. It seems to me that's our priorities are all wrong there. We ought to be charging, $10,000 to listen to some types of music, and be charging $1.99 for folks to get education. So I'm kind of hoping that it's kind of funny. Most people don't want to encourage competition. I want people to come in and follow me and start selling education for $1.99 a half an hour. If I can achieve that, then I will have accomplished something in my life other than helping one client with one project.
So you said there are 65 units, over 30 hours of instruction. And is this a mix of business advice and legal advice, or is it more one or the other?
It's a mix of everything that I and my clients do together. If I had to break it out, I'd say it's about 75% business and 25% law. And I'm always frustrated by categories because what is business? Business is about dealing with people. That's psychology. Business is about numbers. It's about math. So when you say business, it's a big thing. And I've never really drawn hard and fast lines between law and business because it's all about people and problems.